Okay, so I want to talk about the code that's available right now. This will be version 100. This one's, not 100, but I'll merge it. Um, I was showing this because the structure is the same. So I showed the current capabilities of the software right now. And let's see, I got a list of stuff. Oh yeah, so when it first boots, well, hold on, I'll briefly touch on this because I'll come back to it, but everything starts from main. Main will bring in everything else, like sensors, display, and all that. But I was just trying to point out that when you do the boot, you can choose between like a picture and like I was using this for a while, but I really wanted like something animated. But what I added was like very basic. There's the cat. Let's see. Show boot. Yeah. So this is showing that animation thing that played. It's like literal line manipulation. Whereas if you wanted an image, you can just load that in here. Like you open an image instead of draw. So that's how you would change that. But first thing I want to talk about is the menu. There's a folder like test code, and that you can prototype what a scene will look like. Because the way the menus are built, it's stacked. Like you start with a black square to begin with, and this is like a good design for like visibility and lower power usage. Because it's an OLED, like the black pixels are off, supposedly. Anyway, and here you can see that the menu is comprised of subparts. Like these are the sprites. So that battery is right there. It gets pasted on right here. So that's the general pattern to making menu scenes if it's not like a live preview of the camera. So if you're prototyping this, like for example, what is this? Render, we got settings, menu. So yeah, let's say we're doing menu. We'll turn this guy blue, cyan. It's there, you can see. So you can make a menu here without writing it to the Pi. That's pretty nice. I don't need those changes though, so I'll just get rid of them. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the actual execution of the code. Let's see. I've recorded this video like several times. Today I actually implemented a version of the file view, so it's bad. That's the other thing I was going to point out is I'm not like a Python expert. Professionally I work on like web, front end, APIs, that kind of thing, web applications. So yeah, this will need to be reworked because there's like really bad coupling and it's just nasty. Like there's no pattern to the state management. But you'll see that. Where is it? Software README. Yeah, when you have your code like finally ready. So here, like I'm connected to the actual Pi. This is the Pi 02. You can tell by the 4 cores. You'll actually run main via a systemd service, and that is explained here how to do it. But yeah, so whenever you turn the Pi on, it'll, in like a minute, it'll start itself up, and then you'll be able to use the camera. Right now though, I have it turned off and I'm just developing. I'll turn it back on. But yeah, it's like Control R, yeah, like that. Mine will say enable. I probably will. I can just do it now. I don't know if you have to do daemon reload, but it's there. So when I reboot the Pi, that'll start automatically. This is an old picture, but yeah, so that'll start this, and you can see, as I mentioned, it brings in all the stuff. There's like references, which I think some of this is not great. Like, I already have a main reference here. You could pull these guys out through main. But so the utils folder, that gives you like, get the high version, because the OLED, the driver has this like max SPI speed variable, and if it's a Pi 02, you can bump that up like twice as fast, so the refresh rate is faster. So it'll do that automatically through here. And then there's the stuff like get the file count, and then for the file view, get the list of files. So let's see, talk about main. Yeah. So depending on which button is pushed, it'll react to that. Let's pull the, oh man, why? My cat like gets in front of my screen for the heat. I can't see now. You gotta go, buddy, I'm sorry. Okay. And he comes right back up. He's like, nope. So we'll just pull this aside. Menu. I've got the display. Yeah, so you can see if the button pushes shutter, it'll check if the active menu is video. If it is, it'll handle like start recording or get out of recording. If it's not that, then it'll assume you want the live preview. So, and if you look in camera, let's see, where is it? Handle shutter. Reset. Okay, so the preview time, it has a 60-second timeout. Like, if you don't interact with the camera in 60 seconds, it stops running, because the live preview is like a really high current draw. That's running the camera, the OLED, everything. It pulls like around 600 milliamps, whereas like the Pi 0 itself pulls 60. So you can see, like, that's a lot of power. It's not as bad when you use like an 18650 with like a 3000 milliamp hour capacity, but it's still bad. You want to like reduce that unless you're using it. Yeah, so this will just manage, like, take a picture or keep the preview going. And the modes, like when you're live previewing, it's taking a photo at 128 by 128. The full resolution is 4000 by 3000, but when you do like the zoom panning, I initially was doing 16x, but the vibration on the camera is so bad. Like if you do 16, which it's possible you do need that, like for 5mm, like landscape, you can check even further. But I stopped at 4. Yeah, so that will just make the picture bigger, and then you track the offset and cropping. That's done right here. The live preview is done here, so it's passing the image here before it gets displayed to the OLED. That's how you can like pan around. Let's see, video mode. Yeah, that's very basic, like H.264. It's not you doing MP4, which is nicer. I gotta check like what resolution it is. I'm not sure if mine is stuck at 720. I didn't spend too much time on this because ideally you would see a preview at the same time, but I have to figure out how to pass the second stream or make another output and make a buffer. Like here I'm using a capture image to actually wonder, does that reduce the got my cat, he's like a breathing problem. Does that reduce the refresh rate right there? If it was using a stream, would it be faster? I did extensive testing before though, where it's like I had pictures ready and it was the SPI was the holdup, like writing all that data. So I don't know, yeah, that could get some investigation there. This is also where you would overlay stuff like the horizon. That same thing with the menu layering. Oh my god. Why does he come up here? Go right there. Like all day he's not here, and then when I come to record a video he's here. Comes right back. I just have to live with it. So, let's see, what was I talking about? Video mode, yeah. A file view, which I haven't put much time into. I worked on that today. It's very bad. The problem is there needs to be a background process that reduces the files like to thumbnails. When you do it on the fly, it takes a while, like a second per image, as you saw in the demo. So that's what it's doing here. Is like, and these are manually set. Like this is really bad. I gotta work on this more. I was just trying to show like you could do that, and you know, it just needs better. This is the live telemetry page. The IMU is turned on when the system boots, and it is listening in the background. So it just writes those values to itself here, and then you can access them and show them here or do whatever. And that I just put like 60 hertz or whatever sampling rate. Nothing crazy. What else? Is there anything else to talk about? Oh, not really, but oh yeah, I guess where is it? Is it in here? I think so. Yeah, so the menu, the way it works is there's like a coordinate system, and when it passes down the menu here, like update state, it didn't go through any of these other things where it's like zoom, pan mode maybe. Oh my god, my central air cooked dog. Yeah, so it figures out where it is and then calls down here to do like the display, the rendering. You can see like the navigation, the file navigation, file pagination is not done. Like that's just a mock-up. But it is possible. Like it's not. It just takes work. Like the manual mode here isn't enabled because you have to pass that in, and you can through PyCamera too. So like set controls or something. But I don't have that in yet. I'm just taking like an automatic picture. Yeah, so that's there. Hopefully that gives some overview of how this code works. Oh, and then when you're developing, you can develop on here or you can develop through SFTP, which here you can see I'm connected to the Pi FileZilla, and then you just edit the file and it'll pop up here in your editor. When you save, it'll upload to it. That's a way to modify it. There is like a SSH extension for VS Code, but apparently they didn't do it for Pi Zeros because they don't have enough RAM. So yeah, that's how I was doing the SFTP. Or you can mock things out and develop in your host OS. But yeah.